You are listening to Mostaccioli Murder, Book 1 of the Jade Sommer series, written by Nicolette Pierce. Copyright 2020. Audio copyright 2025 by Pierced Heart Publishing. Digitally narrated with full cast of voices. Chapter 11. At the end of my shift, I searched for Ross. He wasn't in the office, and the dining room was already closed for the night. Most of the staff was gone. "Kobe, have you seen Ross?" I asked as I scoped out the kitchen. Ross had nowhere to hide in the open space, but maybe he'd said something to Kobe about going into the food storage room. Or perhaps Ross ditched me so he didn't have to talk to me. The latter was more probable. Kobe shook his head.
No, but are you free tomorrow before work? I want to start shooting.
"Send me the details," I said, as I pulled out my phone and texted Ross. "Where are you?" While I waited for his answer, I put the scooter keys away and dropped off receipts on the desk. I then counted my tips. I sighed. It hadn't been a busy night, but I had hoped for something that could contribute to a flight to my next job destination. Well, I was getting closer. But these tips wouldn't get me onto a plane anytime soon. When I didn't get an answer from Ross, I decided to track him down at his apartment, which wasn't too far away. Instead of walking, I snatched the scooter keys again and zoomed over to his place. I parked along the side of the red brick 4-story building and buzzed the doorbell. The summer humidity was off the charts even at night. My hair clung to my temples. I buzzed again. And again. Pulling out my phone, I texted him. "I'm outside your apartment. Where are you? I'm not going away." As I waited, I glanced up at the building to see if any third-floor lights were on. All windows were dark. Where else could he be? As far as I knew, he didn't have a girlfriend. Logan. He must be with Logan. Hopping back on the scooter, I headed to the rusty screw. I yanked the heavy, beat-up metal door and stepped in. Logan was at the bar, paying for a beer and a glass of clear liquid. I discreetly followed Logan to the corner, where I found Ross sighting at one of the tables. His elbows were on the table, hands cradling his head. Logan sat down and slid the beer in front of Ross. Just as Logan lifted the glass of clear liquid to his lips, his gaze caught on me.
"We've got company,"
Logan said to Ross, never taking his eyes off of me. Ross glanced up at me and then dropped his head back into his hands. Making myself comfortable at the table, I asked, "Well, are you going to tell me now? Or do I have to annoy you until you give up and tell me?" Silence. Logan raised a brow. Both he and Ross knew I could be quite annoying if I wanted to be, which meant whatever Ross didn't want to tell me was pretty bad if he was willing to endure my torture. I looked at Logan. "Did he tell you?" Logan shrugged, which meant yes. "If I tell you something about your case, will you tell me what Ross told you?"
"What about the case?
"Just something I saw earlier."
What did you see?"
"Are you going to tell me what you know?" I asked him. I knew he wouldn't betray Ross, but I also knew he'd want to know about the case. It was worth the gamble.
"Withholding evidence can get you into trouble."
"What kind of trouble?" I asked, pushing to see just how much he didn't want to betray his friend. Logan's gaze narrowed, but not into the type of stare that would scare me into backing off. It was the type of stare that heated the blood and made me remember just what kind of chemistry we'd had together. Since I didn't want to go down that path again, I said, "Fine. I was going to tell you anyway." I saw Landon and Mr. Cheerful outside Lee's restaurant. Mr. Cheerful shoved Lan against the wall. I think Lan might owe him money. Maybe that's why Lan's so bent on getting the vase back. Maybe he wanted to sell it. Logan looked thoughtful for a moment.
"Did you confront Lan?"
only to ask how he was. He wasn't hurt, but he did seem upset and told me to go away. And he's been wearing a hoodie with the hood up. It's too hot for that, so I think he's hiding. Who's Mr. Cheerful anyway? Like a loan shark or something? Obviously, he's not the pineapple anchovy pizza connoisseur that he pretends to be.
He's definitely not a pizza connoisseur, but I doubt you'll have to worry about him now that he knows Wayne is dead.
And obviously, he didn't kill Wayne. Otherwise, he would have known Wayne was dead before he ordered. How does Lan fit into this?
I've got some leads.
But you're not going to tell me, I surmised. He smiled. Jerk. Just so you know, I saw Nana today. She's very interested in the case. She thinks she can help. Logan's posture stiffened for a moment before he took a drink and pretended he didn't care. But he did, and that made me smile. So, Ross, are you going to sit here and wallow in misery, or are you going to tell me what's going on so I can help? I grabbed Ross's untouched beer and claimed it for my own. It wasn't like he was drinking it, and the more he wallowed, the warmer it became. That was not acceptable. I already know the business is in the red. How long has this been going on? Ross sighed and sat back, looking at me as though I was his grade school teacher and he was in trouble. Talk to me, I said. Otherwise, I'll follow you home and hound you there. I'll hound you at work. I'll be like a fly you can't get rid of.
You need to tell her.
Logan said, finally coming to my aid.
She has ad experience. Maybe she can help.
Fine.
Ross said on a long sigh that seemed to leave him deflated. He ran his hand through his already messy hair, leaving it that much more disheveled.
We've been on a downhill slide for at least a year now, but we've always managed to scrape by. These last few months have been bad. I didn't realize how bad until I tried to post payroll. We have no money. I pulled from my savings to cover, but now I'm tapped out. I can't pay our employees, and another payroll is in a few days. Everyone will walk, and then we are completely done.
I figured it was bad, but closing in a few days? That was beyond bad. I tried to imagine life without the restaurant, and I couldn't. If I can find money to cover payroll, can we still pay other bills, like electricity and the lease?
I paid those with the last of my money. I have a feeling Dad has been subsidizing the restaurant for a while, so he's probably tapped out as well. But we're good with bills until the end of the month.
Which was only a couple of weeks away.
But it doesn't matter, because even a couple of weeks won't fix the problem. We need more customers.
How many more? He gave a shrug.
Inventive restaurants are opening all over the city. We just can't compete. Yes, our food is great, but it's an old menu that hasn't changed since World War II.
So, make the change. He narrowed his gaze.
You forget about Aunt Dot. I've tried to get her to update the menu. She refuses.
Does she know what kind of trouble the restaurant is in? Maybe that will be the push to change her mind.
I was going to let Dad tell her. He can handle her better. But now with the heart attack, I just can't put him in that position. A fight with her could wipe him out for good.
Okay, I said, taking a fortifying sip of beer. We'll figure this out.
There's nothing to figure out. Not even a loan would fix this, nor would a bank lend to us. We're done.
He put his forehead on the table and groaned. I glanced at Logan. Do you have any ideas? He shook his head.
No, but if you give me coupons, I'll sprinkle them on desks at the station. That might get a few more people in.
That would help slightly. Not enough to stop the downhill slide. I'd have to talk to Alan and demand that he repay me. I didn't want to deal with that now, but I'd rather my money went to the restaurant than to him. I also knew it'd take a miracle for it to happen, and suing him would take time. Time we didn't have. Opening my notes app on my phone, I made a list of everything I needed to do the next day. First would be talking to Alan, then to Aunt Dot. Neither of those tasks would be pleasant. I downed the rest of the beer and eyed Logan's drink. I really wasn't in the mood for hard alcohol, but I reached for it anyway. I took a sip and nearly spit it out. Water? I asked as my bewildered taste buds revolted. Logan raised a brow and then stood.
I'll get you a beer.
When Logan walked over to the bar, Ross said,
Logan doesn't drink anymore.
"Since when?"
Since that night you caught him with Mindy.
I glanced at Logan. While he had never been a heavy drinker, I never saw him giving up alcohol altogether. And yet he had. Was it guilt?
I've been thinking about how to fix the restaurant.
Ross said, changing the subject.
I just don't see a way out. I'm afraid to tell Dad. This news might kill him.
Don't tell Dad for now. I'll talk to Aunt Dot tomorrow. We'll make coupons and give them to Logan. Perhaps we can canvass the area and hand them out. I might be able to release some money to help cover payroll. I won't know until tomorrow. He looked hopeful for a second, but the number of obstacles to overcome were large and time was running out. Is this why you can't buy me a helmet? I asked. He looked sheepish.
Sorry.
When Logan returned with another round, I asked him, "Have you heard of any new Italian restaurants that are doing great?"
There's a place near the river. It's got a wait list to get in.
Ross, I need you to go over there tomorrow and see what kind of menu and atmosphere they have.
Didn't you listen? Logan said there is a wait list to get in.
Pretend you're someone important. He rolled his eyes and took a drink.
Yeah, that'll happen.
I probably can get you in.
Really? I asked. How?
I know the chef.
Great. Take Ross there tomorrow for lunch.
He might have other plans.
If he had other plans, he wouldn't have offered.
He didn't offer to take me. He offered to see if he could get me past the wait list.
Logan glanced between us when we both looked expectantly at him to settle the matter.
I can move things around.
Great, I said. Ross looked as though he was about to get sick.